Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Black Belt Focus. And today's a bit of a special one, and I'll explain that very shortly. So, what's the latest news here in Australia? We've only got a few days before year end, so hopefully you've spoken to your accountant and worked out exactly what you can and can't spend, and you've got a good tax planning solution in place. So, if not, definitely get that done sooner than later. And also, what's it going to be for the next 6 months? Now it's time to review your plan. We've only literally got 6 months till the end of the year. Again, what would you like to achieve? Have you gone back on your plan from the beginning of the year and had a look at exactly this is what I wanted to do? How far along are you? And are you on track for what you wanted to do? So it's a good time to review your plan and where you wanted to go. So let me tell you what I'm going to work on today. And I had an opportunity to go talk in front of a lot of high school kids last Friday, and I wanted to share the slides that I actually worked with them on them. And it's not just about getting a black belt in martial arts. I talk a lot about getting a black belt in martial arts and working with my students on that, but I'm talking about getting a black belt in life and what are the attributes that you need to actually do to get a black belt in life. And no matter what you achieve, people who achieve things have that black belt mentality, and this works across the board, whether you're in business, whether you're a top end soccer player, whether you're a whatever, you're an expert in origami. Everything happens for these people, or the points that I'm going to go through work really well for these people. So let's just first have a look. What is a black belt? And what does it actually mean? Well, the first thing you come to mind is, of course, you can kick butt. And that's the answers that the kids gave me, that you can actually officially kick butt. Well, it's actually not. It's more of a achievement. Anyone can go out and get a black belt in anything that they actually want, because it takes a lot of discipline, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of hard work, and this is what a black belt actually represents. And I'd love to sit there and talk about the negative sides of black belts, in terms of there are some martial arts schools that will give black belts out to small kids and people that have only been training a year, and all of that. But reality is that's not the essence that I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk to you about what is the components that make up getting a black belt, not just in martial arts. This is not about martial arts. This is about your business, this is about your life, this is about your health. Imagine getting a black belt in health. What does that mean? What does that look like? And this is what we're actually going to talk about. Now, let me give you a bit of stats, and this is an interesting one, and no matter what you look at, you think about the top football teams. There is only an elite group that are actually there, and I would call them the black belts. And these are the groups that have probably had to sacrifice quite a lot to be in there. But here's a good indication. This is our last black belt grading group here in Australia, and we have now over 7,000 members that have come through our organisation, and only have 295 black belts that have actually done the test and become black belts. And you look at that, that's only 4%. Think about all the netball players out there. How many become the elite of the elite? It's probably less than 1%. Think about all the businesses out there. Who are the businesses that make tons of money, that have all the time in the world, that have their businesses just run? It's only the top 1% of people out there. So, when you look at it, it's now about when you look at the stats, it's now having a look at the choices that you want to make. It's not because these people that are earning their black belts, or officially in that black belt category, that were born better than you. They weren't born with bigger muscles, different brains, etc. What they were is they've done everything that we're going to talk about now in regards to getting that black belt in life. So the first thing is attitude. And attitude is everything. So here's a point. In some time in life, you've probably been told you've had a bad attitude. And that's probably right. You probably did have a bad attitude. And the thing is your attitude still bad at what you actually do? Do you have the wrong attitude? Is it, your attitude's been developed over time. Can it easily be changed? I believe it is. I think it is easily able to be changed with the right attitude. And this is all about making choices in life. What's your attitude around health? Do you go out and exercise all the time? Do you have the right attitude around your health? You're probably going to say no. Most people will say no. Do you have the right attitude around your business? Do you have the right attitude when it comes to it? Literally, attitude is everything. Everything that you actually have, everything that you do has been built around your attitude and your attitude around it. If you hate your business, and that's your attitude for your business, then guess what? Your business isn't going to be polite to you. It's just not going to. Things happen, and it's your choice on your attitude. So one of the first things is around getting a black belt in whatever you want to do is having the right attitude about it. Yes, I'm able to achieve this. Yes, I'm able to do it. Yes, this is how I'm actually going to look at it. This is my attitude about it. Is it a negative attitude or is it a positive attitude? What attitude is it? When I look at my health, and we're going to talk about that later, but I look at what I do in my health, and my attitude regarding my health is fundamental, the most important thing that I can actually have. So I really have a good attitude around my health. My attitude in the morning is I can wake up and say it's cold and it's freezing and I don't want to go for a run and I don't feel like a run and I had a bad training session last night and I'm sore. Well, my attitude is, well, suck it up, princess, and just get out there. It's going to be worthwhile in the end. Is that your attitude towards stuff? And this is the attitude we need to look at. Attitude is everything. And when you look at attitudes, and this is all about the choice. You've probably seen this before, and you may not, but what part of the line are you living? Are you living below the line? How are you taking the wrong attitude? Do you make blame or excuses? Do you blame others for what's happening around you? Do you make excuses of what's happening, or do you just live in denial? Do you just sweep things under the rug? So what is the attitude you're actually taking to your business, to what you want to achieve, to that black belt in life? A relationship. Do you have a black belt in your relationship? Well, what's your attitude towards your relationship? Is it good? Is it not? Or are you just, letting it go day by day, which is the denial stuff? Or are you taking ownership from it? Are you taking accountability? Are you putting the responsibility in place? And these are the different attitudes that you need to look at. And so many people, have a whole heap of excuses around about why they're not achieving what they're achieving. It's been too hard. It's been this. It's been that. I didn't get the right advice. I've spent too much money. I have no money. These are all excuses. I've seen businesses growing on a shoestring budget, literally, and have been growing huge on that. I can name heaps and give you so many examples of them. Why? Because the owner didn't use the below-the-line behavior. So, it's easy to do that, but this is all about the attitude that you need to actually take. So, think about your attitude about what you want a black belt in. Again, you can have a black belt in anything that you want. All it is just signifies exactly where you're at. So, take the right attitude. This is really important. The next part is listening. And this is going to be an interesting one. Why is listening such a big integral part of earning a black belt in life? Well, listening is really important to understand what's happening out there. You need to listen to your body, especially if you're working on your health stuff. You need to listen to, your customers and your suppliers if you're in business. You need to actually listen out there. And you've always heard the old analogy, if you have two ears and one mouth, use it in proportion. This is so true. And if I sat there and asked you to do an exercise right now to raise your hand as high as you possibly can, most people would stay sitting in their chairs, they'll raise their hand up, and, did you listen to what I actually just said? Were you listening? I said raise it as high as I can. And, most people who have the black belt attitude would be jumping on their desk, would be finding a ladder and climbing up a ladder, would go and find a mountain, climb the mountain, then raise their hands. It may take them a while to get to that point, but they're not taking that half-assed approach of, okay, let me just raise my hand up. Are you listening of what you actually need? And that's a perfect example of that exercise on what's happening. Whenever I do workshops and I throw that out there, there would be 1 out of 30 that would actually get up and stand up and raise their hand. They won't jump on tables. They won't go. Listen to the point. Can you raise your hands as high as you can? This is really important. Are you listening to what's actually happening out there? And the way in business I like to use listening is look at your KPIs. That's listening to your business. Are you watching your KPIs? Because that's what's going to help you get your black belt. Are you listening to them? These are the things that you need to. If you're a football person, you want to get a black belt in football, are you listening to your coach? Are you actually doing what he's saying? Is he saying, can you put some extra effort in? Are you putting that extra effort in? Are you putting the time in? Are you listening? Or are you listening and go, and then go back to your old ways? What are you actually doing? And I think this is an integral part of getting your black belt. And this is why in our organization, a lot of people don't get our black belts because they don't listen. They get told they need to do this, they need to do this, they need to do this, they need to do this. And guess what? They don't do it. And then all of a sudden it all gets too hard and it's on the back and then they fall into that behind behavior. Blame, excuses, why they couldn't actually get it done. So have a think about what you're actually listening to and are you putting the appropriate steps in place with the listening that you're actually doing. The next thing is about failing. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there with people failing left, right, and center and people laughing, but I love those only for the mere fact that, if you're failing, you're actually trying. So, this is a fairly simple one to work on. Go and try stuff. If you need to get a black belt in something, you need to get outside your comfort zone. You're going to need to fail. You're going to have to. And I don't like using the word failing because, if you've tried, you haven't failed. You've learnt another way where it hasn't worked. So, get out there and try stuff. This is what this pitch is all about. Getting out and trying. This is really, really important to make sure that you are going to look at getting that black belt. The next thing, and there's 2 points to focus that I want to actually work on. You need to learn how to focus, not 24 hours a day. I never talk about focusing with my clients 24 hours a day. Even my students, you can't go and train in martial arts 24 hours a day. You need your break. You need the ability to focus when you need to focus, and this is really important. So the 2 ingredients that I've got with focus is 1, perseverance. You're going to be knocked down. You're going to be beaten up. You're going to have issues thrown in your face. Perseverance is just keep going, even if it's just little bite-sized chunks. Just keep going. How do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. These are the things that you need to know how to actually do it. How many successful people today had to persevere where they had to get to. Facebook started in back in 2000, but it wasn't until 2008 before it was up to 100,000 users. KFC, Colonel Sanders was 67 before he opened his first store. These are the guys that persevered and persevered and persevered and persevered. These are the things that you need to look at in business. It takes 10 to 15 years before your business is up and running to where you need it to actually be, where it is making that income. Can you do it quicker? Yeah, you probably could, but most don't. Most actually have to persevere to get where you need to get to. So, perseverance is really important when you come to focus, because if you keep persevering and you keep focusing on the particular areas that are going to get you successful, if you're doing martial arts, keep the exercise up, keep the training up, keep your technical ability up. This is what's going to get you a black belt in business. Keep your sales working, keep your marketing working, keep your team, being trained. All of that, and you just keep going over and over, is what's going to get you where you need to. So this is really important as a part of getting a black belt. You've also got to look at your shiny things. Part 2 of focus is not running around looking at those shiny things. So many people see something new and they want it. I was talking to the kids. They've got these fidget spinners now. Oh my goodness. What a waste of time and energy. But they just sit there and they fidget with them. They'll be a fad that's gone really, really quickly. At the end of the day, the people who are successful stick to the same things over and over and over again. I used to idolize my brother when I was growing up. If he wanted to ride BMXs, I wanted a BMX. He wanted motorbikes, I wanted a motorbike. He wanted those shoelaces, I wanted those shoelaces. The thing is, though, he chased shiny things. And right to this day, he still chases those shiny things. I took up skateboarding after he took up skateboarding, but I stayed with skateboarding and I got very, very good at it. I did Australian tours on my skateboard. I was able to get out there and be really good. And I broke away from actually, chasing those shiny things. I've been in business a long time. My business does extremely well. Guess what? I wasn't chasing shiny things. I've just focused on what's important. My martial arts school, I've done the same thing over and over and over and over again, and now I have 175 students. These are the things that you've got to look at. You've got to be able to focus on that one thing and keep going at it. Don't chase those shiny things. Don't chase the new marketing when your current marketing probably works just fine. These are the things that we've got to look at when you come down and focus. The next part is discipline. Jim Rohn makes a comment, suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. I hate using the word pain in there. You either achieve it or you don't. Simple as that. And, if you regret that you never did things in life, you probably didn't have the discipline to see them through. So everything that we've just spoken about beforehand, having the right attitude, the focus that you actually need, all of that boils down to your discipline. Being able to actually be disciplined enough to say no to others. Being able to have discipline to go to training, to get up in the morning, to focus on your exercise. This is the discipline that you want. And most people don't have discipline because they want the easy route out. Everything I'm talking about is hard. I'm going to be blunt. It's hard. But, I've never turned around and had a student who I've pushed extremely hard to get their black belt come back to me and goes, well, that was the worst thing I've ever done. Why? Because they're healthier than what they've ever been before. They've achieved something that they've never thought they were possible of achieving. They're over the moon. They don't think about all of that hard work that they've just done. They think about the actual results and what they've actually got. And this is what discipline's about. Discipline is focusing on the results, not focusing on that hard work to get to the results. So when you wake up in the morning and you've promised yourself to go and exercise and it's raining outside, well, what's your discipline going to be? Are you focusing on the results and how awesome it's going to be? Or are you focusing on how awful it is going to be running in the rain or doing whatever you have to in the rain? So, I don't like the word pain in this. I don't think discipline is painful. I just really don't. Discipline is just a choice, and that's what it boils down to. So have a think about the discipline you've got when it comes to working on your black belt, whatever you're going to get your black belt in. And again, patience. I think this is one of the key aspects of getting your black belt. You need patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. As I mentioned before, most businesses take 10 to 15 years to get to the point where they are able to give the business owner some flexibility. What is your patience? Are you expecting things to happen too quickly? I see business owners who do a marketing strategy, spend $1,000 on it, and then after 30 days goes, well, that didn't work. Well, that's not patience. Marketing takes 3 to 6 months to kick off, no matter what you're doing. At least, that's the minimum. So, you've got to have patience to get your black belt. It just doesn't happen straight away. These people that actually earn their black belt within a year, that's just insane. I don't think that's even possible. You haven't shown enough patience. You haven't shown enough attitude. How can you get a black belt in a year? It's just, I believe it's impossible. You need to have that dedication. You need to have that discipline. And that takes time, and that takes a fairly good length of time. There's not many businesses I know that have started and automatically, within a year are just booming. I'm not saying it's not possible. Please don't take that as saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I don't know of any of them. And if you can, great. Show me a business that is sustainable after a full year and just making crap loads of money and being, smashing out there. So, I don't know of many that are doing it. So, patience is the key. And of course, your health. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you don't have your health, it's probably not going to be actually any good. So, the healthier you are, the healthier you will be at getting your black belt. Whether it's a black belt in business, black belt in soccer, black belt in relationship, I still believe the healthier you are, that is. If you've got a healthy relationship and you're healthy yourself, as in your actual health, your relationship's going to be a lot healthier. I guarantee it. If you just sit on the couch and veg in front of the TV eating away, your relationship probably isn't going to be that good, even if your other half does exactly the same. I really believe it's still not a good relationship. Get out there and get your health under control. And if you can do that and you have a black belt in your own health, you'll get a black belt in anything that you want. earning a black belt in anything is all about the key ingredients that I'm giving you today. So, what are you doing about your health? And don't give me excuses that, it's hard, or I, got a sore leg, or my back hurts and all of that. No, health isn't just about exercising. Health is about eating right. It's about, doing the right things around your health. There's a lot of excuses for people out there, but, I see paraplegics doing triathlons, literally doing triathlons. No one should have an excuse of why their health is actually bad. So, guys, that's just a choice thing in life, and that boils down to your attitude. So, being healthy is a very important ingredient in getting a black belt in anything that you actually do. Guys, having your goals. Most people wake up with no goals. So what is your goals? How are you putting them in place? What is your plan to get there? In this world, we have too many gunners. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Are you a gunner? Gunners don't earn black belts. It's simple as that. You either do it or you don't do it. So just be a doer. I'm not fussed what your goals is. My clients' goals are little one-page documents. You don't have to have these fancy things. People talk about having a vision board. If that works for you, great. I'm not going to suggest a vision board to anyone. If that works for you, great. But you still need a goal to actually achieve. I've got my goals that I want to achieve in martial arts. I've got my goals for black belt business. I know what I'm actually working towards. Do you look at those goals? Do you actually focus on them? These are really important. If you're in martial arts and you're a coloured belt, your goal should be actually getting your black belt. Simple as that. That's the goal you should be focused on. That's the one that should drive you when you get up to put all of these things in place. And look, guys, I think two last points that I really want to talk to you about that are so important. And I'll use a golfing analogy like I normally do. You can have all the best goals. You can have the right attitude. You can have the right focus. You can have all of that. You can have all of that. But if you don't follow through on what you're going to say, it's not going to work. Could you imagine a golf club? You come up for a great backswing, you come all the way down, and then the club head stops literally a millimeter from the back of the ball, and it just stops. How far did the ball go? Nowhere. You need a good follow through. No matter you're kicking a football, you're hitting a golf club, you're swinging a baseball bat, you've got to have a good follow through. No matter what. Follow through on everything I've just discussed here, and you will have a black belt in time in whatever you choose to actually have. And the last point is, you got to learn how to fall correctly. In our martial arts, we do a lot of throwing. And if you get thrown to the ground and you keep getting hurt, you're not landing correctly and you're not getting back up, guess what? You're not going to get a black belt in anything. You need to learn how to fall. You're going to get kicked down. You're going to get beaten. You're going to get beaten physically, emotionally, mentally. You're going to get beat down. Everyone gets beat down in their life, but it's how you get back up that's important. Learn how to fall correctly. When you're being beaten down, land, fall, go. That sucked. But get up and go, right, here it is. And, I don't need to motivate you on that because you've probably heard all of this before. Everything I've spoken to you about, you've probably heard before. But this is all about getting a black belt. And this is the difference between the people who get a black belt in whatever they choose to get it in and the people that don't. And there's only a select few that get it. And these are the attributes that they've actually got to actually earn their black belt. And, guys, I hope you got something out of this. If you got any questions, I'm more than answering it. I just can't stress how important it is to get a black belt in a lot of area of your lives, whatever it may be. And it takes hard work, dedication, focus, the discipline, learning how to fall, everything I've just spoken about. It takes that to actually get a black belt in life, or whatever you want to achieve at. And you know what? The rewards really outweigh it. I can tell you that now. If you actually achieve that black belt, whatever it is that you put your heart and effort in and energy into, it is just so rewarding at the end of the day. So I'm going to throw it out to you. Are you going to go get a black belt in whatever you want to achieve? Or are you just going to be another one of those gunners? So I'll leave that up to you. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch up with you shortly. Bye for now.